Can we talk about Sendai Colony? The first time I've ever read Sendai Colony in my career as like a manga reader has been one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. When we get to that part, you'll know why I say that. And to top it all off, I really want to express that feeling with this video in mind. Also, editing me, I just want to tell the differences between the anime and the manga and how different it is compared to the anime version. And I hope you guys enjoy. I really do, because I enjoyed making this. Either way, stick around for the end of the video. Hey, Kagane, is that thing a player?
Yes, and its name was Kurorushi.
Huh. A player who's a cursed spirit? Now, the first big difference with the Kurorushi fight in the anime. Yuta transitions into a field of tall grass, or maybe grain, twists his sword and creates a cursed energy tornado around himself, scattering the cockroaches into dust. Also, can we talk about earth and insect trace? In the manga, Kurorushi said the technique's name before summoning them. In the anime though, they just pop straight out of the grass. Meanwhile, the manga kept the fight in the Bay Area and had him create a typhoon instead of a tornado. In my opinion, the typhoon looks cooler, but that's just me. Then the insects pop out of the water instead of the grass. They feel way more ghastly than physically appearing, as they do in the anime. I will say though, the anime did it 100 times better than the manga. No shade to Gege. But turning it into a full-on showdown between Yuta and the cockroach curse spirit, like it's a Kurosawa film, was an amazing touch to the source material. That's one of the biggest changes in the first interaction with Kurorushi. Everything else is either minor or so small that you could just brush it off as a basic move. At least we still got the most cursed kiss in the series.
Yuta, you just gained 5 points.
Seems like you can use reverse curse technique. What the hell did she do? One of the coolest female characters in the Culling Games besides... So you're telling me that I'll spoil it for the anime fans? Yeah, but... Okay, I get it. Besides that one character, she is one of the best to ever do it. Yuta speculates what kind of ability she was using. He tries to explain it by comparing it to a fisheye lens distortion. You know those weird bends you see on POV shots?
Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the fucking door. No.
Then Uro straight up announced that she can manipulate the sky and show it as an example. She's basically bending the space around her, like how planets bend space with their gravitational pull. Like this. Let me ask you something. Are you gonna complain if you die? When weak people get desperate, I understand where they're coming from. But someone strong like you could take points whenever you want. I just don't see the reason why you're seeking a fight, of all things. Huh? Do today's sorcerers treat obtaining flesh that casually? The Culling Games is for a second chance in life. Kung Fu Kenny is leading the way, but anything might happen, so the more points the better. Don't you have anyone you love? Maybe a friend or two? Excuse me? I didn't have any friends until recently, but I still can't sympathize with your situation. Yeah, this feeling. He's so close to pissing me off. How can you be so desperate for your own sake? Are you one of the Fujiwaras? What would someone from your kind know about it? All this to say, The dialogue between Uro and Yuta is so random, but it makes sense because she's a reactive character by nature, just as the way that she fights too. But later on, she'll show exactly what the whole conversation basically interprets to, or at least the story tries to, because Gege just loves vague posting. A lot, actually. And oh my god, the anime itself is the epitome of an amazing adaptation. We get symbolism with the paintings, a slow but steady pace that makes her outburst feel so much more real, even without her context yet, mind you. And let me tell you...
Granite Blast!
Oh great, what now? Ryu Ishigori intercepts with his own attack. Uro sways it away with her sky manipulation technique, and Yuta completely tanks it, both in the anime and in the manga. But what did the manga add? Come on now, say it with me. The anime did it better. Yes, that's right. Chef's kiss to Mappa, because that pole throw, nice touch. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, please. Yuta seemingly gets hit by multiple granite blasts out of nowhere. I have to give it to the manga this time though. That pull-up was crazy. Yuta just spawns him from the side and attempts to end this guy's life. But Ryu Ishigori, my GOAT! For all the other Culling Game players, because I love pompadours. And let me tell you something about pompadours. I like to call it bread hair. Man, Ryu's so Josuke coded. I miss my JoJo Fridays. I'm tired, boss.
You want to get close? Do you tell a kid in front of a feast to calm down and eat slow?
Wouldn't you?
Right. That's a bad example. In my first life, I was a moderate eater. I fought good fights and I met a good woman. To be honest with you, I have no regrets. But I can't stand this vague sense of hunger, Oko. And no one can understand why I can't get no satisfaction. And then it hit me. When lighting up these cigs, they have a sweet aftertaste. My life never had dessert.
Here we go. After tossing hands for a good moment, they both shoulder check each other. And it's obvious that Ryu is that guy, sending Yuta flying away, giving Ryu to fire off another granite blast. Yuta parries the attack with his hand, but being the backdoor queen, Uro gives Yuta some serious CTE with Thin Icebreaker. Thin Icebreaker is just an extension technique that she developed herself. While being able to bend the blanket of reality like a lens, she can also break it, which sends a body hurling, let me tell you. If it wasn't for Yuta's special grade status, like, what I'm picturing is Yuta getting hit by pressure that potentially rivals a collapsing star, because she's literally shattering the space between dimensions. Hyperbolic statement aside, we cut back to Yuta running low on his well of cursed energy. Just like Ryu said, it's like hitting a water tower. But just when it seems like it's sweet, he says the words, Rika, I need you. At this point in time, the only differences between the anime and the manga are the stage changes. Plus in the anime, they extended the fight through a small shopping mall, which is a really cool detail when everything starts flying around and stuff. And then on the rooftop, oh, that's why they gotta keep her walls up. Rika gives her gauntlets to Yuta. Also, let me explain one thing. When placing his ring on his ring finger, shit starts happening. For example, infinite curse energy. Fully manifested Rika, who's already as powerful or more than Yuta himself. She's also a curse loaded with tools that can help in almost any situation. But there's a catch. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And considering how bad he was kicking my butt, I'm sure he can handle it. Dragon Ball Z abridged reference here aside. 5 minutes of unlimited curse energy flowing through Yuta's body and outwardly expressing itself. It starts off with dove. Woo, the budget just had an increase. We're talking Uro making the parking lot like she's making her bed, while Ryu tries to shoot both of them and also turning the beams into Beyblades for some reason. Which he never did in the manga, by the way. Instead of just Ryu and Rika duking out in the manga, we got an extra part of Uro and Rika as well. It's really fucking cool and I'm so happy to be here. Going back to Uro for a moment because we finally got a little bit of backstory. She is a 1,000-year-old sorcerer from the Heian era, reincarnated to play in the Culling Games just like Kenjaku did for Sukuna. She was part of an elite assassination squad from the Fujiwara clan back in the day. But one day she was framed and betrayed by the clan itself. That caused her to despise being used and to live only for herself and herself only. It's a tragedy, honestly. But don't blame Yuta for being born now. He wasn't there 1,000 years ago. Oh, I can't wait for this part. It's time.
Man, shut up! At this point, words have no say here.
Domain expansion! In overlapping domains, the sure hit effect cancels each other out. In order to avoid giving Okkotsu the initiative, and Uro needed to keep Rika out of the barrier, but Rika might interrupt later.
This is gonna be short and sweet.
Ishigori just knocked Rika over 20 meters away, so they didn't need to do anything special. Rika would never reach the barrier before construction. However, the last remnant of Rika Orimoto's will inside Rika couldn't accept that. Rika shifts into high gear, but at that moment,
I like the taste of iron.
a modern black demon skitters into the barrier. Outside the barrier, reinforced cockroaches distract Rika. Before going dormant, Kurorushi had reproduced by parthenogenesis. After the parents' exorcism, the cursed energy of fear throughout Japan was once more poured into the child. The clash of 3 domains is more complex than of 2. As they open up their domains, the internal and external conditions differed, causing their barriers to break. Kurorushi? Kurorushi. Really? That bastard? The cursed spirit that invites himself in? Yuta, off-screen this man. Also, damn Rika, the Queen of Smoke got the munchies. Now with that distraction out of the way, Ryu blasts a powerful beam of cursed energy at Uro,
Nigga, get the fuck out my way. Granite blast!
knocking her out in the process. With Yuta standing 10 toes down against Ryu, they finally have the final clash.
Welcome to the table, Oko.
Now I thought personally the fight would be over by now, with Yuta finishing Ryu in his own game, but Gege, when it comes to writing fights, he is a masterclass at work. Yuta loses the beam struggle, but from the smoke, Ryu sees a purple beam coming straight at him. Rika fired it, but where the hell is Yuta? He sneaks up from the side. Ryu sees the burst of energy coming towards him. He blocks it with one hand, while aiming his granite blast at Yuta. Ryu fires off the beam, almost swallowing up Yuta in the process. But he's been saving this one. He pulls out sky manipulation. Thanks to Rika munching on Uro's arm, he hurls the beam straight to the air. Yuta tries to end the fight with thin ice. If that wasn't enough, Rika from uptown hurls a down smash at Ryu. Rika, let me see you grit those teeth. The curse technique cancels out entirely. Fading in and out of consciousness, Ryu powers through his curse technique burnout and his physical fatigue just to clobber Yuta. With no other moves left, they start throwing hands. Honestly, this is what I really love about JJK. When they run out of like curse techniques to throw out and how much like energy they have left, they just fight. We're talking about Fight Club boxing, you know? They both exchange blow for blow, pound for pound, until, in the last moments, Yuta grabs him by the Canadian goose jacket he has, holding him still, for his own beam to hit him. Ryu asked why, until he remembered this fine little detail. Yuta earlier bent the space downward so that the beam could hit Ryu at the exact moment when holding him down. With a smile on his face, he basically saluted Yuta and said,
I am finally full. Appreciate it.
After all that ass whooping, after all that punishment that he just took, the drip is reinforced. Like, do you see that? That shit's impossibly in mint condition. Like, do you see this? Is he stupid? Drip or drown, I guess. Drip or drag. I don't know how to properly finish this video, but closing thoughts it is. Reading Jujutsu Kaisen again just for this video has been a treat, like I said before. And coming to the Sendai Colony one more time was one of the greatest shonen experiences I've ever had. And I thought all of Shibuya was impressive. But if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you a lot. And if you stuck through the end, thank you again for watching. Hello, editing me again. I just want to announce that I am going to stream next Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. EST. Amazing news on my end because I'm trying something new and hopefully you guys would like to see me play Replaced because I'm pretty excited. I have not touched the game yet, so I hope you could join me there and I'll see you over at Twitch. This is your host Fuyu Ai. Good morning, good evening, good night.